is Muhammad Sufian bin Ahmad Fuad. My matrix number is 01DEE 25F 1017.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Zarid Muhammad Fitri Bizalani. My number matrix is 01DEE 25F1006.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Amirul Faiz bin Azhan. My matrix number is 01DEE 25F 1007.
Assalamualaikum. Today, I will explain about the safety precautions when using an analog multimeter. An analog multimeter is a common measuring tool that can measure voltage, current and resistance. But because it is sensitive and connected to electrical circuits, we must handle it carefully. If we use it wrongly, it can damage the device, give wrong readings or even cause accidents, such as electric shock. So, let me guide you step by step on how to use it safely. Step 1. Inspect the meter and probes before use. The first step is always to inspect the condition of the meter and the test probes. Check the meter body. Make sure there is no crack on the casing or loose selector switch. Look at the wires and probes. Ensure the insulation is not broken and the metal tips are not bent. If there is any damage, do not use the multimeter until it's repaired, because a damaged probe can cause electric shock or wrong result. Step 2. Set the correct range before connecting. Next, before we connect the probes to the circuit, we must set the range selector correctly. Always start from the highest range. For example, if we want to measure a 12 volt circuit, we should start from 50 volts or even 100 volts range. If we start with too low range, the needle can slam to the end and damage the multimeter permanently. This step is very important to protect the meter movement. Step 3. When we want to measure resistance or continuity, the circuit must be switched off. All capacitors should also be discharged first. If we measure resistance on a left circuit, the current from the power supply will enter the meter and can burn internal coil. So remember, resistance is only tested on the energized circuit. Step 4. Proper connection and holding technique. Step 4 is about proper connection and how we hold the probes. Always connect the black probe to the COM terminal and the red probe to the correct terminal according to measurement. When holding the probes, keep your fingers behind the finger guard. Never touch the bare metal tip during measurement, especially when dealing with high voltage. Also, make sure the probe tips do not accidentally touch each other, because this can short the circuit. Step 5. Do not change mode while testing. Step 5. Never change the selector switch from one mode to another while probes are still connected to a live circuit. For example, if you are measuring voltage, do not suddenly switch to current mode without removing the probes. This can cause a short circuit and may damage the meter immediately. So, always disconnect first, then change the setting. Step 6. Switch off and store safely after use. Step 6. After finishing your measurement, switch off the multimeter and set the range selector to the off position, or the highest AC range if there is no off. Then, keep the probes in a dry, safe place. If you are storing it for a long time, remove the battery to prevent leakage and corrosion. In conclusion, the analog multimeter is a very useful instrument, but it must be used with proper safety precautions. The key steps are: inspect before use, start with the highest range, never measure resistance on live circuit, hold the probes correctly, do not switch modes while connected, and finally store the meter properly. By following these safety rules, we can protect ourselves, protect the multimeter, and ensure accurate measurements. Thank you.
Now
explain step-by-step demonstration measuring DC voltage with analog multimeter. First, I turn the selected knob of the analog multimeter to the DC voltage range. I set the range slightly higher than the expected voltage value. I set the 50 voltage for the safety. This step is necessary to prevent the needle from going off scale and to protect the multimeter from damage if the voltage is higher than we estimate. Now, I connect the black probe to the COM terminal, which is common or ground port. Then I connect the red probe to the VMA terminal. Using the correct connection, ensure the multimeter functions properly and avoid incorrect reading. After that, I place the probe into the circuit points. So we need to take the battery first. I connect the crocodile clip to the battery and we will connect it to the circuit. The black crocodile clip, I connect it to 100 ohm resistor. The red crocodile clip, I connect it to 150 ohm resistor. Next, we need to measure it. I take the negative probe and connect it to the first to 100 ohm resistor and take the positive probes to 150 ohm resistor. So now we need to look to the multimeter to get the value. Now we get a 9 voltage. After that, we need to record the measured value. The reading on the analog multimeter is 9 volts. This shows that the circuit supply is correct and the power source is working properly. If the voltage was lower, it might mean the battery is weak, and if was higher, it could be dangerous for the circuit components.